although they are designed to be... Whoa! Wait a minute! So that's fine, yes! Hello, duelists! Rasmero here, and today we're going to be opening a box of Eternity Code. Now, I think this is gonna be a pretty solemn opening, because with this very box, we are going to finally lay the entire VRAINS era of Yu-Gi-Oh! To rest. And it's been a pretty epic ride, although I have to say that I think I kind of enjoyed the Zale and Arc 5 series a bit more, but it still was, of course, a fantastic journey along the way. I think this will probably be a good opportunity for me to talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s a bit as well, and our first rare is going to be for Invoked. A bit weird to see some new support for Invoked suddenly all of a sudden, because I don't think the deck is seeing that much play nowadays. Anyway, moving on to the next pack, and of course, oh, very nice, Codebreaker 0 Day from the Codebreaker archetype used by Kusanagi in his one duel against Playmaker, so it's very nice to finally see that archetype made into an actual cards in the OCG. Toria's Hierarchia seems to be a fairy support card. And of course, the card that we are gunning for most in this set would definitely have to be the ultimate Code Talker, Accesscode Talker. Really hoping to pull it in 20th Secret Rare if possible. I know the Arrival Cyberse is in this set as well as a Link 6 monster, but honestly, I'm not really a big fan of that card in terms of both its design and its effect. And look, here we have Crimson Resonator, some brand new Jack support as well, very cool. It looks like we're also getting whoa! What is this dragon? This thing kind of reminds me of like, what was that? Like the Yuya's Emperor Dragons or Imperial Dragons back in the Arc 5 era, and our rare is going to be a new support card for actually Barbatos. Really cool to see this guy, this random old card suddenly receiving new support in this form like this. But anyway, here we've got our first super rare, Nemesis Eschatos. This card cannot be normal summon, it can be special summoned by banishing 3 monsters with different types from either your graveyard or face up on your field. This monster's name's second effect can only be activated once per turn. First effect, this card cannot be destroyed by card effects. Second effect, you can declare one monster type that is currently on the field, destroy all monsters on the field with that type, and until the end of your opponent's turn, neither player can special summon monsters of that type. So this is a member of the new Nemesis archetype, which consists of mainly the low level monsters are called Nemesis something, while the higher level ones like these are called Arch Nemesis. And basically, the boss Arch Nemesis monsters can't be normal summoned, they have to be special summoned by banishing 3 monsters with either different types, or the other one is banishing monsters of 3 different attributes, and they have similar effects, basically allowing mass destruction of monsters of a specific type or attribute while also blocking their special summon. And here we have a Generate card, Shadow of the Generates, Robtor. So this is a new support card for Generate as well. Definitely think the Generates need some extra support, although from some duels that I've been seeing on YouTube by Japanese players, it actually seems to be pretty sick when you really get a good starting hand and the engine really gets going, especially with that field spell. Okay, so the one thing I like about the Arch Nemesis is that they seem to be, although they are designed to be... Whoa! Wait a minute! This is a new Xyz monster for Shark, and that is sick. Like, when I first really got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! In the Zale era, my first deck that I made was Water Attribute Shark style, with big jaws and all that, and so cool that we just pulled the Trap Xyz Revive Splash as well. Now this is Valiant Shark Lancer. To Xyz summon this monster, you need 2 level 5 monsters. This card name's first and second effects can only be activated once per turn. First effect, you can target 1 monster on the opponent's field, detach 1 Xyz material from your side of the field to destroy that monster. And if you have another Water Attribute Xyz monster on your field, this effect can also be activated during the opponent's turn. So that is pretty sick, allowing you to like disrupt your opponent's plays, destroying their key like functional monsters before they can be used as material in order to become their really big monsters. That is really nice, and I love how it rewards you for having multiple Xyz monsters as well. And this will be really good, I realize, going into the new Master Rules coming up in April, which allows you to special summon Xyz monsters from the extra deck to anywhere on your field, regardless of whether it's an extra zone or whether it's linked or not. So this is pretty nice support going forward towards that direction. If another Water Attribute Xyz monster on your field is destroyed by battle or card effect while this card is on your field, you can search your deck for 1 spell card and place it on the top of your deck. Now, wait a minute, I think I just realized what that's for. That will instantly allow you to search for Rank Up Magic, the 7th one! Oh my god, imagine you have this Valiant Shark Lancer and Silent Honor's Arcanite on your field, and your opponent somehow blows up Silent Honor Arcanite, then you activate this effect of Valiant Lancer to pull out Rank Up Magic, the 7th one, and then you instantly activate it as you draw the next turn, and then get out that Silent Honor's Dark Knight. Now this is something I think we have to pay attention to, is Jack Knight's Orphagal Gills. That means it is both a Jack Knight and an Orphagal card, or also known as Orcrust, I think, in the TCG, so very interesting support card right here, which, oh my god, I've just been so busy recently, I haven't really been able to think about how the World Legacy story has been developing either, but that looks really interesting to analyze, so I might go back and do a little bit of that. And yes, as I mentioned earlier, some new Hakai support as well, a new Hakai Doji. There are going to be new rules, a new Senka support card for Rare. There are going to be new rules coming to the Yugioh OCG coming up in April, coinciding with the release of the new anime Yugioh 7s. So the important thing that you guys need to know is, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is going to be split into two different card games. The Rush Duel format and this one, the normal, let's just call it the Master Duel format, which follows the Master rules. And this is the Artisan of the Deep Sea. The Deep Sea is a new archetype that, well, not exactly new, because we've had Deep Sea archetypes scattered here and there a long time ago through different sets, but now they're officially receiving some kind of support and being turned into an actual archetype. But yes, we are gonna get two different forms of Yu-Gi-Oh! Moving forward, Rush Duel and Master Duel. The anime Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s, based on what we know so far, might actually only focus on Rush Duels. That means our Master Duels will no longer be affected by what happens in the anime at all, if that's the case. Unless, of course, the anime turns out to use both Rush Duels and Master Duels, but honestly I think that's a bit weird and I don't really see that happening, because then you'll have to feature both product lines. And the reason why they'll have to feature both product lines is because Rush Duel cards have a completely different card design and like their own system and rules. Although it is similar to the normal Yu-Gi-Oh! That we play, it does have its own set of unique rules which prevent Rush Duel cards from being played together with the normal cards that we know. This is in contrast to like the Speed Duel format, where we are basically using the same cards, just that the number of panels, the number of cards we draw, and the number of zones on the field are less. So this is essentially just becoming a whole completely separate standalone version of Yu-Gi-Oh! That, according to what we know so far from the system, seems to be a bit more kid-friendly and simpler to play. And here we've got the Link version of the Water Charmer Elia. Let's check her out. To Link Summon Elia, you'll need two monsters, including a water attribute monster. According to the rules, this card is always treated as being a familiar possessed card. This card name's first and second effects can only be activated once per turn. First effect, target one water attribute monster in your opponent's grave, special summon it to a zone on your field that makes it linked to this card. Second effect, if this Link Summon monster is destroyed by battle or your opponent's card effect, you can search your deck for one monster with 1500 defense or less and add it to your hand. So for those of you guys who pay attention to the cards released in the OCG, you guys should be pretty familiar with what all of the Link Charmers basically do already. It's all essentially the same thing, but for monsters of different attributes according to their attribute. So what do I actually think of this whole Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's developments? I think there are both good points and bad points to talk about, which I will probably briefly touch on in this video. First, the bad and disappointing part of it is that I'm sad that the anime won't follow the Master rules or the actual Master Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game anymore. Because for me, a big part of enjoying and collecting Yu-Gi-Oh! Has always been like following the adventures of the protagonist through the anime and seeing which cards, you know, are really cool from there, based on the characters, liking certain cards based on which characters use them, and then like just sort of falling in love through them like that, through the story and the What did I just pull? Okay, this is, okay, confirmed, it's definitely not a 20th secret rare. This is just an ordinary secret rare, and this is Marineca's Great Bubble Reef. To Link Summon this card, you'll need two or more water attribute monsters. This card name's third effect can only be activated once per turn. First effect, during either player's standby phase, you can banish one attribute monster from either your grave or face up on your field in order to draw one card. Second effect, whenever a monster is banished, increase this monster's attack by 600 until the end of the turn. So that's very nice, that internal synergy between the first and second effects, giving you that additional draw for practically nothing if you banish from your grave, which will probably be quite full of water attribute monsters once you perform the link summon, especially of Great Bubble Reef, and then giving you that plus 600 to make it a minimum of 3.2k as well is pretty sick. Third effect, you can send one water attribute monster from your hand to the grave. Choose one of your banished Marineca monsters and special summon it. So overall, pretty nice Marineca support, I would say. We've already seen this card in the anime used by Blue Maiden. Honestly, I don't think it's that powerful, but I mean, Marineca on the whole as an archetype, although I would say it's pretty fun to play with how quirky it is in terms of the effects, it's not meant to be one of those powerful like meta dominating or meta breaking decks in the first place, so that's fine. Yes! Alright, so it looks like we managed to pull the Gizmek of this booster, and I have no idea how to read its name. I'm gonna read it out in Japanese. Kikoko, the mechanical wolf, Ukano Mita Mano Inari. So there's probably some deep Japanese meaning there which I have no idea about because I'm not that cultured right now, but let's check out its effects. This card name's first and second effects can only be activated once per turn. First effect, if a monster is special summoned from the deck, you can special summon this card from the hand. Now that's pretty handy. If this card is successfully summoned or special summoned, you can target one face-up monster on the opponent's field. Special summon one monster from your hand or deck with the same attribute as the targeted monster that has equal values of attack and defense. So if I'm not wrong, all the Gizmek monsters actually have equal values of attack and defense if I remember correctly, so this effect can actually be used to bring out the other Gizmek monsters. Third effect, every time your opponent successfully normal or special summons a monster, inflict them with 300 damage. Wow, that's a pretty cool effect burn strategy effect right there. I'm just wondering if with this new Gizmek and like with all the Gizmeks that have come out throughout the VRAINS series, are we able to make like a full Gizmek deck right now? Like I know that we don't technically have low-level Gizmek monsters, only all of these high-level ones that special summon through special effects, but I wonder if there are some certain cards or main deck monsters that actually go well with them, or maybe any archetype that goes well with basically exploiting the Gizmeks and their effects in order to defeat the opponent this way, because all the Gizmeks have this like same theme of just being really disruptive on the opponent, so I think they fit well in some kind of like control deck. Wow, and wow, speaking of control, here we have a brand new Xyz Traptrix monster, Traptrix Aromels. To Xyz summon this monster, you'll need 2 or more level 4 monsters. Okay, the 2 or more is really suggestive of some things this card will be able to do. Anyway, this card named second and third effects can only be activated once per turn. First effect, while this card has Xyz material, it is not affected by the effects of traps. Second effect, you can detach 2 Xyz materials from this card. Special summon 1 level 4 insect type or plant type monster from your grave. So that's gonna help you produce more of your Traptrix. Third effect, if an opponent's monster leaves the field by one of your card effects and is either sent to the grave or banished, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card in order to target that monster. Special summon it to your side of the field. Wow, so I don't think Traptrix has any of these like possession changing effects, has ever had any of these possession changing effects so far, right? So that's really a new interesting dynamic they're adding to the Traptrix playstyle, and that sounds like it could be pretty damn dangerous, you know? You put in a lot of effort into getting rid of the opponent's monster. If you manage to snatch it from them, you're making that exchange even more worthwhile, while also making it difficult for your opponent to retrieve it, whether by, you know, just using a typical monster reborn, or if that monster has some kind of effect that allows it to be revived over and over again every turn. You guys know what I'm talking about. This will be a pretty interesting card that you can use to steal that monster and disrupt its resurrection at the cost of only 1 overlay unit. Man, that is pretty cool. And okay, looks like our next rare is a Goki's Power Lord. The Power Lord Ogre, Link 4, a new Link 4 for Goki, but I mean, seeing Link 4s for Goki isn't very exciting because they've already had so many Link 4s from the start. Whoops, that was a bit dangerous there, but fortunately it looks like I didn't hurt my cards. We still haven't seen any Accesscode Talkers, or I'm pretty damn sure we will get either Accesscode or the Arrival Cyberse, so... Oh, wow! Okay, that is pretty nice! We managed to get both. I think there are only two, unless they haven't revealed the third, but this is Nemesis Proto, the second high-level Nemesis monster. So essentially, Protos here has the same effects as the other Nemesis monster, just that it applies to attributes instead of types. Just like the other one, it can't be normal summon. You special summon it by banishing monsters with 3 different attributes, while on the field can't be destroyed by effects. And during your main phase, you can declare an attribute to destroy all monsters on the field with that attribute, and until the end of your opponent's turn, monsters of that attribute cannot be special summoned by other players. So, what I really like about these two Nemesis monsters is that although it seems you can make a Nemesis / Nemesis deck with the cards in this set, and probably some future support as well, you can also include the two Nemesis bosses in any of your decks where you tend to use multiple types or attributes in order to basically act as disruption units against your opponent's plays, which I find really interesting. So for example, if you're playing Cyberse, although all your monsters will be of the same Cyberse type, Cyberse tends to use monsters of many different attributes, as we can see from the 6 different kinds of Code Talkers, and I mean even at Ignister as well. So that will allow you to use this one, Protos over here. It allows you to special summon it very easily because you'll easily have 3 monsters with different attributes, and then you can just bomb the opponent's field. And here comes another ultra rare, I think our third one. Wow, our third one already. And this is gonna be, unfortunately for Dragonmaid, not a big fan, although I really like, not a big fan of playing the deck, but their style has, we gotta admit, is really interesting and cool. Dragonmaid Storal. To fusion summon this monster, you'll need 1 Dragonmaid monster and 1 level 5 or higher Dragon type monster, which is basically any of your higher level Dragonmaids. This card name's first and second effects can only be activated once per turn. First effect: during either player's standby phase, you can special summon 1 level 9 or lower Dragonmaid monster from either your hand or your grave. Wow, okay, that is pretty sick support for the deck already with that first effect. Second effect: when your opponent activates a spell, trap, or monster effect, you can negate that activation and destroy it. Return this card to its owner's extra deck, and special summon 1 Dragonmaid Husky from your extra deck. Oh, so now I finally see the resemblance. I thought this was the dragon form for the new Dragonmaid that comes out in this set, but no, it's actually the dragon form of the previous Dragonmaid Husky, the previous ultra rare boss of the archetype. Okay, with these, the 3 ultra slots have been taken, and sorry, I made a mistake just now. I think I said this was secret. It's actually the Marineca's Great Bubble Reef we pulled is actually an ultimate rare, which means our last chance to pull either the Arrival Cyberse or Accesscode Talker, which I'm aiming for, is going to be that final secret rare slot. So let's see how it goes. And we've just got another Deep Sea Artisan rare for this. We still have 2 super rares to pull though, so that's something else to look forward to as well, I guess. But I'm not too sure what are the other super rares available in this set, cause when I was looking through, none of the archetypes really stood out to me other than the Nemesis ones. But I mean, we literally already pulled both of the Nemesis ultra rare bosses already, so I don't think there are Nemesis super rares, so there's nothing to pull on that. And other than the archetype, I'm pretty sure there probably would be a Codebreaker super rare, which I guess would be nice just for like the Kusanagi representation, but not too. And Union Driver, oh, this is one of the... Here we go, I guess. What is this? Fusion Deployment, a new super rare card. And isn't that over there like... Isn't that a reference to Hao Judai? Yeah, his evil form in like the final arc of GX. I mean, not final, the second final. You can only activate 1 card with this name per turn. Show your opponent 1 fusion monster from your deck, and special summon 1 of its fusion materials written on that card from either your hand or your deck. During the turn you activate this card, you can only special summon monsters from the extra deck via fusion summon. So pretty nice, I guess, but this means that you have to use it in decks with fusion decks with fusion monsters that specify specific fusion materials. That means I don't think it will be much help for the modern hero deck, But of course, you could always include like a few fusion monsters that indicate specific materials in your extra deck just to get off that card in order to basically exploit it. You don't actually have to fusion summon those cards because the older ones that had specific materials are a bit less ideal compared to the ones we have nowadays, which involve more generic materials like just combining multiple heroes with certain types, attributes, or names. I mean, not types because they're all warrior, right? Attributes or names, like combining vision heroes in order to bring out those new monsters. Yeah. Oh man, I'm not sure what's wrong with my camera. It keeps off-focusing for some reason. Okay. It looks like our secret rare is going to be a Dragonmaid, and this is the new Dragonmaid support card, main deck monster, Dragonmaid Chain. This card name's first and second effect can only be activated once per turn. First effect, if this card is successfully normal or special summoned, you can add one Dragonmaid spell or trap from your deck to your hand. Second effect, at the start of either player's battle phase, you can return this card to its owner's hand. Special summon one level 7 or higher Dragonmaid monster from either your hand or your grave. So this is all things that we've already come to basically pretty expect from main deck Dragonmaid monsters. I think the first effect, the searching, is pretty nice, but other than that, it's just like, you know, I mean, good support, but nothing too incredible. The packs are, for some reason, really hard to open today. Maybe they're just really fresh. But yes, I'm pretty sure Chain is actually a super rare by its natural rarity, so that means our secret rare was a variation of a super, which is not the best thing. So another copy of the Jack Knight's Orphegal Fusion. Looks like we've only got 3 packs left to go. Our third last pack. We can probably expect just one more super rare, and I think that will essentially be it. Looks like we are not being able to pull either Accesscode or the Arrival Cyberse at all in this set. Very unfortunate. Left with 2 final packs. So let's start with the one on the left. I mean, I don't want to think it's impossible, but with the typical ratios, it's pretty much impossible at this point. Man, like, what is with this box? Alright, let's see what else we get. Oh right, this dude we've been seeing pretty often is a new Thunder Dragon too. So pretty cool to see some new support for that actually. Okay, here it comes, the Deep Sea Aria. Looks like this is our final super rare. You can only activate one card with this name per turn. Banish one water attribute monster from your grave. Add one level 4 or lower sea serpent monster from your deck to your hand. So that's just gonna be to help the new Deep Sea archetype function better, because I believe that their key monsters, I'm not sure if all of their monsters are Sea Serpent, but I'm pretty sure the key ones are Sea Serpent at least. Maybe all of them are Sea Serpents. And here we go, our final pack of the VRAINS era. Because next time we open a main booster in April, it's gonna be the era of Yugioh 7s with the very first 7s booster, Rise of the Duelist. Alright, Hakai, Link Burst, and our final card, a rare, is new Shark support, Cutter Shark. You know what? I'm not gonna let it end this way. Buying this box earned me a final challenge pack, a 20th secret rare final challenge pack. I have no idea what cards are available in this set, but actually the list is there, but they're probably just old legacy cards, like I see Silent Honor's Dark Knight and even Yubel there. But the point in the end is that there is a chance that you will be able to pull them in 20th secret rare. So let's see whether we can reverse our fortunes with this booster and save this opening with a 20th secret rare! It's just a secret, but it's not just any secret, it's a secret of shooting Quasar Dragon, which is pretty badass if I do say so myself. This does make me feel a bit better about all of this. So, that'll be all for this opening of Eternity Code. Very unfortunately, we didn't manage to pull either Accesscode or the Arrival Cyberse. I'll probably have to get the singles, but at this juncture, I just really like to thank all of you guys, especially those of you guys who've been following me all throughout the VRAINS era, from Code of the Duelist all the way, coming full circle to another booster with code in its name, Eternity Code. And as the name suggests, I'm pretty sure that basically all the cards that we fought with and all the characters we've journeyed together with through this VRAINS era will stay with us until the end of time. Or at least until Yu-Gi-Oh ends, which hopefully will never happen. But as we transition from Yu-Gi-Oh! VRAINS to the next era of Yu-Gi-Oh! 7s, there are still gonna be some products being opened, and next month is something incredible that if you guys, whether you guys are new to the channel or old subscribers, you guys definitely better stick around, subscribe, and hit this bell so you guys don't miss it, or mark your dates with this mark your calendars with these dates, because on February 8th we are getting the Rarity Collection Premium Gold Edition. With that, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, all that good stuff, and I hope to see you guys on the next Yu-Gi-Oh! Video. Our chance encounter brought color deep into my life. I will shelter you, protect